Welcome back to a brand new episode of Cosmic Secrets. Today, we're diving into one of the most controversial questions on the internet. Is NASA hiding the truth from us? Are there secrets about space, aliens, and the universe that the public has never been told?
Oh, absolutely. NASA is the world's most powerful space agency with billions of dollars in funding. They control most of the images and data we get from Mars, the Moon, and even distant galaxies. Many people believe they're not telling us the full story.
Let's start with the obvious question. Why do so many people think NASA is hiding something?
Well, there's a long history of mystery. Take the Apollo program and the moon landing in 1969. Millions still believe it was staged in a studio. NASA denies it, of course, but the lack of full transparency leaves room for conspiracy theories to grow.
What about Mars? We've seen so many strange images coming from the rovers.
Exactly. Some pictures show shapes that look like statues, pyramids, or even human-like figures. NASA says it's just rocks and shadows, but independent researchers argue it could be evidence of ancient civilizations on Mars. The question is, does NASA show us everything, or only what they choose to reveal?
And then we've got the biggest question of them all, aliens. Why does NASA stay so vague whenever the topic comes up?
NASA usually sticks to phrases like searching for microbial life on Mars, Europa, or Enceladus. But when it comes to intelligent aliens or UFOs, they avoid clear answers. Some believe it's because admitting the truth could cause chaos, politically, socially, and even religiously.
Do you think NASA has secret agreements with governments or even other organizations to hide the truth?
That's a very popular theory. People believe that global space agencies and powerful governments know far more than they admit. For example, data on dark energy and dark matter could completely change how we understand the universe. Yet most of it is kept locked away from the public.
So let me ask you straight. If NASA is hiding something, what's the most shocking secret they could be covering up?
Well, the list is long, but here are the big ones. Evidence of intelligent life or ancient civilizations on Mars, the real nature of dark energy and dark matter, which make up most of the universe, discoveries of Earth-like planets that could support human life, secret advanced technologies, possibly inspired by UFO research.
Wow. If even one of those turned out to be true, it would change everything we know about space and humanity's future.
Exactly. That's why this conversation is so powerful. It's not just about science. It's about control, information, and whether we're ready to face the truth about our place in the universe.
Hold on a second. Isn't it possible that all of this is just imagination? Maybe NASA isn't hiding anything at all. Maybe people just want to believe in conspiracies.
That's a fair point, but let's look at the facts. Over the years, we've had countless UFO sightings reported by military pilots, leaked documents, and even declassified Pentagon videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena. If governments are releasing this material, why would NASA stay so quiet?
But couldn't it just be natural phenomena like weather balloons, drones, or technical glitches?
Sure, it could be explained, but not all. Take the Tic Tac UFO videos released by the U.S. Navy, high-speed objects defying physics as we know it. NASA barely comments on this, and when they do, it's vague. If they truly had nothing to hide, why not be completely transparent?
Okay, let's talk about Mars again. You mentioned anomalies in NASA's rover photos. Isn't it more logical that these so-called statues or faces are just rocks? Our brains are wired to find patterns.
That's true, it's called pareidolia, but some of the structures are far too symmetrical, far too detailed to dismiss so easily. Independent researchers have found pyramid-like shapes, objects that resemble machinery, and even what looks like entrances to tunnels. If NASA has high-resolution images, why don't they release all of them to the public?
So you're saying NASA could be sitting on evidence of alien civilizations?
I'm saying it's possible. Think about it. NASA's rovers and orbiters collect terabytes of data. Do we really believe the few images we see on the news or their website represent everything? There's a lot more happening behind the scenes.
Let's go even bigger. What about the universe itself? Do you believe NASA knows more about dark energy, black holes, or other galaxies than they're telling us?
Absolutely. dark energy makes up nearly 70% of the universe, but the public gets almost no clear answers about it. If scientists already had breakthroughs like how to harness that energy, do you think they'd announce it openly or keep it classified as a matter of global security?
You're painting a picture of a NASA that's more about control than exploration.
Isn't that the point? Information is power. If NASA revealed everything about aliens, UFOs, advanced technology, or even the future of the universe, it could change society overnight. And maybe they think we're not ready for that truth.
Let me play devil's advocate here. If NASA is really hiding so much, wouldn't someone from the inside have leaked undeniable proof by now? A whistleblower, a scientist, an engineer?
Funny you mention that. There have been whistleblowers. Former NASA contractors and even astronauts have hinted at things the agency never confirmed publicly. Remember Edgar Mitchell, the Apollo 14 astronaut? He openly said that governments know about alien contact, but NASA quickly distanced themselves from his statements.
Yeah, but NASA said those were just personal opinions, not evidence.
Of course, that's what they have to say. But when multiple astronauts, military officials, and pilots around the world share similar experiences with UFOs or unexplained phenomena, you start to see a pattern. And patterns don't lie.
So are you saying the truth is already out there, but NASA just keeps denying it?
Exactly. Think about it. If the public already suspects and insiders hint at it, the cover-up isn't about denying forever. It's about controlling the narrative. NASA controls the images, the language, and the timing of what gets released. That's how you shape what people believe.
This is getting intense. Let's go deeper. What about the moon? Some people claim NASA found more than just rocks during Apollo missions. What's your take?
There are theories that astronauts saw strange lights, structures, even unidentified objects while orbiting or landing on the moon. NASA either cut the live transmissions or explained them away as technical glitches, but leaked transcripts suggest astronauts were shocked by what they witnessed.
If that's true, then the big question is why? Why hide something so monumental?
Because revealing the truth changes everything. Religion, politics, energy, technology, it would rewrite human history. Imagine the chaos if tomorrow NASA confirmed they found alien technology on Mars or that UFOs have visited Earth. Who controls that discovery? Who profits from it? That's why secrecy becomes the default.
You're suggesting this is less about science and more about power.
Exactly. Space isn't just about stars and galaxies. It's about control over knowledge, technology, and humanity's future. And if NASA really is hiding the truth, then what we know about the universe might only be the tip of the iceberg.
You know, the more we talk about this, the more it feels like science fiction. But let me ask you, do you think NASA has already made contact with aliens and just kept it hidden?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some people believe the famous "wow" signal and other mysterious radio bursts could have been signs of alien communication. And what did NASA say? They brushed it off as just unexplained noise. But what if it wasn't just noise? What if it was a message?
But come on, if NASA really had proof of alien contact, wouldn't it leak immediately?
Not necessarily. Think about it. NASA works hand in hand with governments, the military, and intelligence agencies. If such proof exists, it would instantly be classified under national security. Leaks would be silenced, controlled, or discredited. That's why so many whistleblowers say they were ignored or ridiculed.
And what about secret missions? People online always talk about NASA having hidden programs, like sending missions to the dark side of the moon or secret probes to other planets. Is that real or just conspiracy theories?
Hard to say. But here's the thing. Not everything NASA does is public. Budget reports show billions of dollars labeled as classified space projects. The public doesn't know where that money goes. Could it be hidden missions, advanced propulsion systems, or studying alien artifacts? We don't know, but the numbers don't lie.
So you're saying the biggest secrets may not be about what's on Mars or the moon, but about what NASA is actually doing right now behind closed doors.
Exactly. Imagine they've already developed technology far beyond what we know. Anti-gravity engines, faster than light travel, energy from dark matter. If true, it would mean NASA is decades ahead of the science we're taught.
That sounds insane, but at the same time, history has shown us that governments keep secrets all the time. Nuclear projects, spy satellites, stealth aircraft, none of those were revealed until years later. maybe space is no different.
That's the point. What if the greatest discoveries in human history, proof of life beyond Earth, the secrets of the universe, technologies that could change everything, are already known, but locked away, hidden from us?
So let me leave you with this. If NASA is really hiding the truth, what happens when that truth finally comes out?
Maybe that's the day humanity finally wakes up. Or maybe it's the day everything we thought we knew collapses.
Let's shift gears for a moment. Beyond the conspiracies and theories, there's also the science itself. Do you think NASA might be hiding discoveries about the fundamental nature of the universe? Things like dark energy, dark matter, or black holes?
That's where it gets fascinating. Take dark energy, for example. It makes up almost 70% of the universe, yet it's invisible and undetectable, except through its effect on cosmic expansion. NASA's telescopes have collected massive amounts of data about it. But here's the catch. If they've made breakthroughs, say a method to manipulate or harness dark energy, would they release that information freely? Or would it be classified as the most advanced form of technology humanity has ever known?
That would put NASA in possession of knowledge that could literally redefine physics.
Exactly. It's not just about science, it's about control of the future. Imagine if energy shortages, fossil fuels, and even space travel were solved overnight because of such a discovery. The balance of global power would shift instantly. That's why some researchers argue that scientific discoveries at the edge of physics might be suppressed or delayed.
Interesting. But let's talk about black holes. NASA releases stunning images and simulations, but do you think they know more than they share?
Possibly. Black holes aren't just cosmic monsters. They could be gateways to understanding higher dimensions, even time travel in theory. Some physicists speculate that information might not be lost inside black holes, but encoded in ways we can't yet decipher. If NASA or other space agencies had evidence supporting such radical ideas, it could revolutionize not just astrophysics, but the entire philosophy of reality.
That sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, but science fiction has often inspired science fact.
Exactly. Think about it. Satellites, space stations, even touchscreens, all once considered science fiction. So when people dismiss advanced theories about wormholes, alien civilizations, or faster-than-light travel, we have to ask, are they dismissed because they're impossible or because the truth isn't ready to be revealed?
Which brings us back to NASA. Maybe the real question isn't just, are they hiding something, but what's the reason for hiding it?
Right. The answer could be as simple as protecting global stability. If humanity discovered tomorrow that we are not alone, or that advanced civilizations existed long before us, our religions, economies, and even governments might collapse under the weight of that truth. On the other hand, if technologies derived from secret research were suddenly revealed, they could disrupt entire industries overnight.
So, in a way, the secrecy might not be about denying the truth, but about controlling its release, shaping how and when the world learns it.
Exactly. And that's why the NASA debate remains so powerful. It's not just about aliens or UFOs, it's about the future of human knowledge itself.
Bang. Cliffhanger. Scientific tone. So, is NASA protecting us from chaos or protecting power from the people?
That's the question science and maybe history will eventually have to answer.
Let's go deeper into the psychology of all this. If NASA is indeed withholding information, do you think it's because they believe humanity isn't ready to face the truth?
That's a strong possibility. Historically, major scientific revelations, like proving the Earth isn't the center of the universe, shattered worldviews and met with resistance. Now imagine revealing that alien civilizations exist or that faster-than-light travel is possible. The shock would be far greater. The fear is not just about panic, but about reshaping everything we believe about life, power, and our place in the cosmos.
But at the same time, wouldn't transparency push humanity forward? Wouldn't revealing these truths inspire innovation and unity?
In theory, yes. But in practice, knowledge is rarely shared equally. If a discovery is powerful enough to change the course of civilization, whether it's alien contact, advanced propulsion systems, or the secrets of dark matter, Governments may prefer to weaponize or monopolize it rather than open it to the world.
That brings us to a critical question. Is NASA more of a scientific institution or a political instrument?
Great question. On the surface, NASA appears purely scientific: missions, telescopes, astronauts. But behind the scenes, it's deeply tied to politics, funding, and global competition. The space race wasn't just about science, it was about power between nations. That hasn't changed. So if they discovered something groundbreaking, the decision to share or suppress it might not even rest with scientists, but with policymakers.
That makes me wonder about the unknown data we never see. NASA collects terabytes of information every day. We only get a filtered fraction. What's in the rest?
Exactly. Every image from Hubble, James Webb, or the Mars rovers is processed before release. What if certain anomalies are cropped out, blurred, or archived away? Some ex-employees have even claimed that certain images undergo cleaning before they're made public. Whether that's to avoid confusion or to hide the extraordinary is the question.
Let's imagine for a moment that NASA does have undeniable proof of extraterrestrial life. What's the next step? Do they keep hiding it, or do they prepare humanity gradually?
I suspect it would be a slow drip of information. First, microbial life on Mars, then hints of complex biology on distant exoplanets, finally, confirmation of intelligent civilizations. By introducing the idea in stages, people would adjust without immediate chaos. In fact, some argue that this process has already begun with the increasing openness about UFOs.
So what we're seeing now, UFO reports, Pentagon disclosures, NASA's cautious language, could all be part of a larger narrative being carefully managed.
Exactly. The story isn't random. It's controlled. And the real secret might not just be whether aliens exist, but how much NASA and other agencies already know about them and how long they've known.
Bang. Cliffhanger. Philosophical scientific edge. Which leaves us with one final thought. If NASA is hiding the truth, maybe the bigger question is not what they're hiding from us, but what they're preparing us for.
And that might be the greatest mystery of all.